What's up, guys? Welcome to another live stream. I got Coach K here with me. Coach, what's happening, man?
Not much. Hope everyone's enjoyed the dump and looking forward to
What's
what
up,
comes
guys?
next.
Welcome to another live stream. I got Coach K here with me. Coach, what's happening, man?
Not much.
Okay, that was right. I closed that window. All good now.
All good. All good.
Yeah, so I came on 2 days ago when I was watching this dump happen in real time. I gave my perspective, but I'm not much of a trader, and I don't really know what's happening in the immediate short term. So I'm just as curious to find out what's going on right now as anyone else who might be watching this, and trying to see what's going to happen right now. And I did also mention, I don't know if you saw on the live stream, like that you made that tweet 15 minutes before the dump actually happened about what the price target we were going to hit. So nailed it. It's pretty spot on. I thought that was quite impressive. And with that being said, tell us what the hell is going on, man.
Yeah, so I mean, I could see that we were getting a little bit weak a couple weeks ago. I've been saying like, it looks kind of weak, but like I'm still optimistic that we're gonna not be done with the bull market. There were signs kind of pointing towards us going to have a little bit of a correction. I didn't expect it to be as big, but when I started to see the correction and break into the cloud, I looked for demand zones, which are basically areas where price usually has a lot of action. And there were quite a few what we call liquidity pockets. So places where the prices come and wick down, and then it came and bounced and came back up. And if you look all the way back to when we were coming up to all-time highs in February of basically last year, or this year, sorry, you could see that there's lots and lots of areas of pockets of liquidity that potentially we could get to. So I made that tweet saying, hey, man, I'm going to look for that $45,000 zone. There's an area where if we're going to get pushed down, we're going to go to there. And I actually was so excited when I saw that because, I was happy that it happened fast. We don't want to have a slow bleed like we had in 2017, 18, where we kind of see everything kind of slowly bleed down. We want that quick burst of the reaction and the quick burst, kind of like we had in March last year, where it just shoots super down, super hard, and then we get that bounce back up. It's much healthier for the market to do that than to slowly bleed out. And it's also much nicer as a trader to kind of see that, know that we're very likely, if we hit that demand zone, to break back up, which we have. I mean, if you placed orders around that demand zone, you're up $5,000 a Bitcoin. So the dump would have hurt a little bit, but if you had bought there, you kind of mitigate your feelings of your stop losses hitting and all that stuff. And if you hadn't had stop losses on, well, you learned why you should have them and why I talk a lot about risk management when I'm talking about trading. And if you're a long-term holder, I made another post about how, if you're a long-term holder, these dumps don't really affect you. You know that over time, this industry is going to continue to grow. So you're not really so affected. It doesn't make you very emotional. You just go, okay, there's probably some opportunity. What is the interesting part is we have that on-chain metrics. One of my buddies is on-chain metrics, War Dog, and we were looking at who was selling. And outside of the cascade liquidations, the people that were selling were actually people that bought from around December 2018. So the people who bought the bottom from like then till now, those holders of like 2.5 to 3 years, those people were the ones who actually were selling. And what I expected to happen was those people saw we're dumping and got scared because they've been through a bear market before and they didn't want to lose the opportunity of all this profit. So they started to sell and get really scared. And then as the cascades happened, they sold more and more. So about 15% of those addresses actually sold. So it's a large amount. But the really interesting part is when you go and you look at the other aspect of who was actually buying. And the people who are buying, which is very interesting, we still have new people coming in the space that we're buying. So new addresses we're buying under a year. Addresses that were 3.5 to 5 years that are active for that long. Those people were buying, like myself and yourself probably, and quite a few others. And the ones who'd been longer than that were also buying, but just not as much. So I think people were seeing this as a great opportunity. I'm sure with the Canadian ETF now letting people buy spot, there were a lot of companies who were probably looking for an entry. This is likely where that was. Are we bullish or bearish is the question we're having right now. We're definitely more on the bearish side, but we're not underneath the cloud on the daily. We're underneath the 200 EMA, so we're not in a great situation until we break above that. But like I was saying earlier last week, are we going to have a flush before the actual the real bull market continues? I thought that was going to happen. Not as bad, obviously, but when we see these things, we react. We traders can have a mindset, and this is the thing that loses a lot of us money, is we have a mindset of we always have to be right. But you know what? A good trader changes their bias quickly. They don't sit there and go, oh, I'm still right. I'm still right. When they see, okay, I'm probably wrong, you get out of those trades and you look for the next opportunity. And I think a lot of us were like that. We reacted positively and didn't freak out and get scared, but we looked at the opportunity in what this was. And I mean, if you look at the whole market, I mean, Kyle, you're as big a bull as anyone I know. The market's still intact. I mean, there's so much things that are happening for the long term. So yeah, maybe we go down, maybe we get bearish for a few months. I think personally, we could definitely have a sideways consolidation for all of December and kind of go against the grain of what everyone's thinking, because the cycle seems to, with Elon Musk tweets and with the May drop, it kind of seems as if it's like it's not reacting the same as it did last time. And it seems like it's getting extended based off of the traditional stock markets dropping off, which probably caused a lot of this dip as well. So that's like the whole overall arching analysis of what I was seeing and what we're seeing in the metrics on chain. I'm still bullish for the long term. If short term we go sideways and a little bit bearish, I'm okay with that too. I don't mind if we revisit that $44,500 zone, $42,000 zone. That would be okay. I wouldn't be scared. That would double bottom, and that would probably send us higher. So that's what you should be looking for right now from a trading perspective. Short term, we're definitely more on a bearish. We're definitely more bearish, but at the same time, this can change quite quickly. We all know that US might wake up today and start buying. They haven't been buying all weekend. So we have to wait and see, because that actually happened on the weekend.
Do you want to share your screen and show us what you're looking at over here?
Yeah, I think I am sharing it already. Yeah, there we go.
Right, there you go.
So here's what I'm looking at. On a macro perspective, right? We're not underneath the cloud yet. So we kind of held it. This has acted as a support. This is what the cloud does. It's a support, kind of like your normal supports that we draw on the chart. So we can see that it kind of came down to that and is holding this level so far. That's the only positive on the daily. Right now, we had a bearish TK cross. We broke into the cloud. We did an edge to edge, which is what's normal. And we're bearish on the Chiku. So our daily chart doesn't look great. When I'm talking about those demand zones, you see these wicks. Every time we wicked into those zones, we had a reaction on a positive, pretty much for a positive reason, other than a huge jump in May. But then we came back to those levels again when I talked about on your show the first time, when I said we'd need to go sideways and down and then break into the cloud. That was what happened, and we broke above it. Then I became bullish, because remember, I don't make my prediction of being bull or bear based off of my emotion or what I want to happen. I do it based off the chart. We got above the cloud. We broke back above the cloud, and then we're bullish, right? Now we're still in the cloud, so we're in a neutral territory. We're not full on bear. We're not full on bull. We're just kind of like, all right, there's a lot of bearishness in this chart. Could that be a huge, massive fake out and us break up above the cloud? Possibly, but we have all the signs telling us that on a daily chart, we're bearish, which could mean that, we've seen this happen before. We can be bearish and go down and sideways for a little while before we break higher. Now, I think that the areas we're going to look at to revisit and maybe double bottom, and this might take a week or two for us to double bottom. We have things like Christmas time. People generally don't trade as much. Large funds don't normally trade too much during Christmas. So that aspect means that like we could come back and maybe continue the bull market in next year. So if we go sideways and down and double bottom maybe at the end of the year, we could see the start of next year being positive. The other thing we have to be very careful and watch is the SPX 500 index and the Dow. So right now we're seeing that they kind of bounced back off the 200 EMA, the Dow did. The SPX 500, this isn't a technical chart for the stock market because we're using crypto settings, but we're seeing even on these crypto settings that it bounced the 100 EMA and it's bouncing the Kijun. So maybe we're going to see that recover. And if the stock market doesn't get completely wrecked, then I think the Bitcoin market and the crypto market will do just fine. And so that's what we have to just keep our eyes on. We also have to look at the bond market, because if you look at Bitcoin and you look at the bond market, one of my good buddies, Trader XO, has pointed this out to me as a pretty cool piece of alpha that they kind of follow in a similar way. When we look at Bitcoin, then we pop on the bond market, you do see a lot of similarities and things like that. So if the bond market flips and gets very bullish again, you're likely going to see Bitcoin do the same thing. And the last thing to watch is our DXY, because this has always been a concern of mine, because it kept going higher, which means people are cashing into dollars, but everything else keeps going up. So how does dollars and all the markets continue going higher? That's kind of odd. The other thing that's odd, before just to finish off, is that our market cap dominance has come back into this zone. And it's quite an interesting one, because this is my buy Bitcoin zone. This is the area where I generally would buy Bitcoin. It's just really weird when we have a dump like we had, for us to see the market, the Bitcoin dominance actually drop off. It's not normal. That doesn't normally happen for Bitcoin dominance. It doesn't usually drop when everything else drops. So that tells me a lot. And if we look at Ethereum, Ethereum is not bearish technically on a daily, which is kind of crazy. Had you bought in the demand zone one right here, there was another one right here, you'd be laughing today, because technically, the Chiku span's bearish, but this could turn bearish always, but it's not bearish, not like Bitcoin, which is very interesting. And we can see that if we do ETH BTC, it's very, very obvious that ETH BTC is absolutely on a bull run against Bitcoin. And we're looking at, this top level up here is where we're going towards. So ETH definitely is extremely bullish compared to BTC. It kind of fits the narrative of ETH is the internet money. Raul Paul's been saying it. Yeah, we have Solana too, which is also bullish technically as well. So there are some that are standing out of the bunch, right? And that's something that I'm just really keeping my eyes on, because yes, it's technically looking like it could go bearish, but all it takes is an impulse today when the US wakes up and the funds wake up and they go, oh, this is a great opportunity to buy, and Michael Saylor to buy another 5,000 Bitcoin. And the next thing you know, we start seeing the market having a slow recovery. So that's all the stuff that I've been looking at. And I'm not really bearish, but obviously if we look at our shit coins, they did get pretty wrecked. So hopefully you're not holding too many, you're not holding too many shit coins. And this is why people ask me all the time on Twitter, hey coach, why do you always have USDC? They're always like, why do you have 13 or 15 or 20% USDC and everything else in crypto? Why do you do that? This is why. This is the opportunities I wait for months at a time, not actually spending all my money on different coins, because I'm waiting for these opportunities, because they do come. We do have 30%, 40% corrections in Bitcoin, and we know that they come. So these are the greatest opportunities to actually buy for traders, for long-term investors. When we see that the market drops off 40, 50%, these are the times where at 40% drops, we likely are going to make the most amount of money, because if you look at the last time we had a 40 or 50% drop, it went all the way up here to down here at around 30,000, 29,000. Then we went all the way up into almost 70K from 30K. It's over 100% profit. So just on BTC, that's amazing. Like it's expensive, right, per coin technically for an average person. So the opportunities are there and they're great. So that's really like a quick overall analysis of where we are at in the market. It's things to keep your eyes on. And if we watch our secondary charts, our 4 hours, we want to see these turn slowly bullish before we start getting bullish anywhere else. So I want to see the 4 hour kind of break into the cloud and do all the stuff I want to see on the daily first. Because if we look at ETH also needs to get there. So it's got to recover from that, get above the cloud. Our Chiku span, this one right here, has to be above candlesticks. We have to be above the cloud. We need the green Tenkin to cross above the red Kijinsen to show us that our slow EMA is not above our fast EMA. And so all that really means is we're seeing not really a crazy recovery yet. It's starting to, but we need to see that on our secondary chart, because if our daily chart is bearish and our secondary chart is bearish, it means that we're likely going to continue potentially being bearish for a little bit of time. I'm not saying that we're going to go into a full-blown bear market. I was bearish back in the day because I just, there was a lot of stuff in life going on at that time, and I felt I needed a vacation, which is what I took. So yeah, I kind of think this kind of happens. This could happen again. where we go down a little bit more, we go sideways, we could even come back to 40K, another really good opportunity. If it doesn't happen, totally cool. Just react based off of what you can see. Traders don't know 100%. I don't know 100% what's going to happen. I react based off of what the chart is telling me, and I don't let my emotional bias of I'm a long-term bull get in the way that they were going to have pullbacks, get in the way that they're going to have opportunities from the pullbacks. And if I'm wrong, it's totally okay too, because I don't mind to buy a little bit higher if I'm wrong and then the market gets bullish, because then I have a higher opportunity that then I'm going to make the right decision. And so being patient in this time, I would say for everyone watching, is more important than getting all excited and buying the dip every single time. And I actually mentioned that on my video right the day before this actual drop happened. I said, I don't know if this will be a buy the dip opportunity. And that's why I posted the demand zones right as I saw potentially we would go there. And within an hour of posting that, we were right around 51, 52. It just dumped super fast all the way to 40. I couldn't believe it. It was faster than I could even react to get what I wanted all filled. But yeah.
So what are you? So what are you doing right now? Is there anything kind of tangible that are you making any moves? Have you bought anything?
Yeah, I bought Bitcoin in the demand zone. I bought a little bit of ETH under 4K, and now I'm just kind of I'm playing it slow right now, because if we do get more bearish, I'd rather just have more money more dry powder to buy and buy and buy. If we go to the lower zones, right in the $40,000 zone, if we get there, I want to have the money for that. So I'm setting buy orders right around 45K, because what will likely happen, in my opinion, is we'll likely go sideways like this, and then we'll break back down for a double bottom, and then we can start going back up. And that might, like I said, happen into January. So we could see that we'd have a slower December. People go on holiday, people relax, people don't think about the market as much, especially the smart money guys. They go on vacation, they relax and have fun with their friends and see their families and stuff. So that will happen. The only other side is I think gaming in this time is a really exciting thing to look at, because people at holidays might play games. They might be getting play to earn games going on. They might start talking to the family about playing them. And you might see some push in that respect from the play to earn side of things.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So, I mean, on average right now, the overall gaming sector, according to CoinGecko, is down about 28% on average of all the games in the past 7 days. But some of them, like UFO, Chain Guardians, some of the bigger ones, they're down 50%.
That's the hack, though. Some of that's the hack. The Bitmart got hacked yesterday. Oh, yeah. $150 million. Anything that was on there got shot down really, really hard. In my opinion, every time there's a hack and you know that the people sold those coins, it's a really good buying opportunity. I tell everybody this, even though it sounds crazy. You see a hack like UFO and all of them dump all that tokens and it goes down 30-40%. Usually those are the ones that you might want to get on a bounce, because they generally do bounce back. People like me look at that and go, oh, this is a great opportunity. I look at the rest of the market, everything's down, right? Bitcoin goes down, ETH goes down, everything goes down with it. It's just the way the market is, because as those values drop off on the dexes, because ETH's value or Bitcoin's values drop, everyone starts to get scared and pull their money out because they're worried that we're going to go in a bear market, and they got wrecked last time and they don't want to get wrecked again. So it's more of like playing defense. A lot of people doing that. And then the cascades on the, liquidity, where, we had $2.5 billion in like 24 hours get just liquidated right off the market. So pretty intense, to be honest. I think, metaverse and gaming is just getting started. Maybe it was a little bit overheated. I would agree with that if anyone said it, because, everyone was getting in because of Facebook and stuff. And it's exactly what we saw when Elon tweeted about Bitcoin. Everyone went a little bit too crazy about it. And that's usually when those big whales can come in and go, okay, yeah, everyone's bullish. We're just going to dump the price, scare them all out of their positions. They'll all sell and cascade. We'll get more liquidity for ourselves, and then onward and upward. So that's what whales do. If people understand like how it works, they will push the price down on purpose to scare you out of your positions so that you cascade and go to 42 so that they can buy it super low and laugh as it goes back up over time. And this is what whales do, not just in Bitcoin. They do this on coins that are in, typical DEX coins that have like $2 or $3 million liquidity. They know if they drop $1 million of liquidity, everyone's going to start pulling out. They can buy it back cheap if they truly believe in these projects. And that's how they can suck up all the liquidity from you. And you sell at a loss and you go, wow, that sucks. And you watch it go back up over the next couple months.
It doesn't look like oh no, it was on yeah, I mean UFO is something that I kept hearing about, and then I kind of figured, well, fuck it, it's too late. I had FOMO, but I was not about to buy in on this kind of hype and hysteria. Now it's back 62% from all-time high 11 days ago. I just kept hearing everybody talk about it. You can see this, it hasn't been this low at a price ever since right before the pump. I mean, if you kept hearing UFO, anyone who's watching this, and you're just like, man, I missed out on the opportunity. It's exactly where it was literally before everyone started talking about it, and it hasn't been like for 3 weeks. And then you saw this huge run up, and now we're back all the way back to that same price, that buying opportunity. So that's a good one, I think, for people to come in. I don't have any yet, but I'm definitely looking to pick some up today.
Yeah. You look at all the coins that you've been like, oh man, I missed it. Those are the ones that you should be looking at and going, if they're down 50, 60, 70%, I mean, if you truly believe in what they're doing, you should be looking at those as opportunities, because things that are down so much, especially if there was a hack and they just got dumped super hard, these are like the ones that are likely going to see the biggest type of recovery when the market turns back bullish. So, and that doesn't mean that will happen right away, and we could be patient and wait for that. So, you know, I'm not saying that all of a sudden tomorrow we're going to turn bullish. I'm saying it might take a couple months like I did last time, but that's totally fine. If you're long-term in the space, you're going to be patient, and you know that all long-term, if you're in good projects, they will come back, they will go higher. And the market only has up to go, because in reality, it's only like $2 trillion, $3 trillion. Like Microsoft has a bigger market cap than we do. Apple has a bigger market cap than we do. They're one company. Bitcoin is like country revolutionary type of technology. And, you know, you got El Salvador is only going to be the first. So we're going to see a lot of opportunities come out of this. And I think that's the big piece, and the big important thing that we should be focusing on is what is the valuable projects that are going to be here. If you're in those ones and you believe in it, you probably shouldn't be so worried.
Yeah. So is there anything else have you bought anything else besides Bitcoin and ETH? Or are you kind of waiting to see if things go lower? And
I bought some FXF when it hit like 16, 15 cents or whatever, because someone dumped $1 million because of the Bitmart hack. I bought a little bit UFO because the Bitmart hack. Anything that was on that list, Wilder World, I didn't buy more, but it's probably a good opportunity here too as well. So these are things that you should just kind of keep your eyes and scope them out, because if you believe in metaverse plays, look at the ones that you believe in the most and that have been the most wrecked. This is what you look for. I haven't bought too much other than ETH and Bitcoin, just because I feel like if ETH and Bitcoin do dump again, that those ones will get even worse, like even more wrecked than they are right now. So it's about slow playing it. This is why I made my video talking about I'm not buying this dip. And then I waited for this huge opportunity to come, and then I bought. And I'm still being cautious. Still have 13-14% in USDC. And I'm waiting, because if we come back down, I'm going to buy even more. So I might be 10% in USDC after another dip. But yeah, we got to be slow play it. Don't be rushing into anything right here, because the market isn't certain that we're going to go higher. So we have to be very cognizant of that, and make sure that we play slow, not try to go fast until you see whales and large wallets start buying up heavily again, which they have been. And another metric to watch for is on like Crypto Quant. You can see how many people have money going into the exchanges, or Bitcoin going in the exchanges, and how much Bitcoin is coming out of the exchanges. In the last like 2 days, a crap ton of Bitcoin got pulled out of the exchanges after people bought it. That's a bullish sign. On-chain metrics are still very bullish from that perspective. So yeah, again, be patient, take your time, buy things you believe in. And that's the best way to play this market and not get wrecked.
What else are you looking for that could be a good buy? I think I had missed out on Wilder World. I didn't get opportunity, but potentially maybe I'll come pick some up today. I'm trying to get some land in this project as well. What else are you could be a good buy in this dip?
If you like the project Persistence 1, it's down a crap load from the top. And I've been posting about how it's still not in my zone yet. To be honest, I posted a week ago.
Is it Persistence, or is it the same thing?
Persistence, yeah, Persistence 1, same one. You know, backed by A16Z, Anderson Horowitz, and very good project, but it's down. It hit its high at $16, and recently the last high it had was, and I mentioned it had a head and shoulders potential on the chart. Didn't actually play out fully, but it's coming down to that zone now, which is around between $5.50 and $6. I think that would be a great opportunity if anyone wants to watch for that. That would be something you just kind of chuck on your chart and you leave it and you wait for that and you put some alerts on and stuff and just wait for those opportunities to come to you. You know, the best traders in the world, they always talk about how they wait for the opportunity that they want to buy at. They put the number in there and they just wait for it to come to them. This is how you should always be when you're thinking about, if you're not a trader, it doesn't matter. You should put a number or an area that you want to buy and wait for it. And if it doesn't come, it's okay. There's thousands of coins. You don't have to have all of them hit. You have a bunch of ideas that you put on your chart. And I have a bunch of alerts that I put on my chart. When they come to them, I will buy it in those zones. So, you know, persistence one is one around $556. You know, and we're looking in DeFi right now. Comp at $1.80 is pretty freaking good place to buy that one too. It's right in that zone right now. It actually hit that zone and likely will come to that zone yet again. So $1.80, $1.90, great opportunity there. Curves also down a huge chunk. So we'd be looking at, you know, around, if it does double bottom from where it was, around $3, $2.85. That'd be another really good one to buy for me personally.
When do you think let's talk about narratives for a second. Like, what do you, because everything has been pale in comparison to gaming and NFTs and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of us believe that we're going to get like another DeFi type of push, you know, because I think game, like everything else, when it gets super saturated, it kind of gets like, okay, been there, done that, heard that. I don't think games are going away anytime soon. And I think they'll always be kind of a sexy kind of niche, but as we've seen in the many years, that there's always this kind of narrative of the moment, right? That's like hot shit kind of topic for a period of time. So when do you think DeFi will be put back on the front and center of the radar?
I think like people have realized that maybe with this type of a drop, a lot of them are probably going to be looking at the yield apps, at the freeway tokens, at the, you know, comps and the curves and the Aves. Why? Because right now they probably realize they're not traders. They don't have the emotional capacity to be one. 99% probably can't actually weather the storm. Even traditional traders don't like trading crypto because it's a very volatile asset and it's scary for them, so they don't trade it. But with DeFi, you know, you could chuck your stuff, you chuck your USDC into, you know, Orbit, for example, you have 43% a year. You chuck it in the yield app, you get 18 if you're holding those tokens, right? You chuck it into Nexo or Celsius or BlockFi or any of these places, you get money for basically doing nothing but just lending your capital to the platform. Now, there is the risk of like, you know, you put your money in that platform and it goes belly up, but that's why Orbit has their prime brokerage, and now they work like a bank. They don't actually take your money and use it. They take a loan against your money like a bank does, and they invest it. So that means you don't have as much risk doing that as you normally would with most DeFi protocols. We saw what happened with Badger. They're like, oops, sorry guys, we're not going to cover your insurance. Our bad. Sorry, Nexus Mutual. So, you know, there is a risk in everything, but I think DeFi is an easier play for someone who's not really a trader, who wants to earn 10, 15, 20% a year, 30% a year, 40% a year, and not have to stress about the fact that like the contract's going to get wrecked and we're going to lose all of our money. So DeFi will come back. I think there needs to be more of I think we need to see a little bit more, you know, maturity in the space of DeFi so that like contract hacks can't happen as easily as they've been happening. And when that happens, I think there'll be a huge push in DeFi. I think a lot of traditional funds are starting to look into this. I know ours is. I'm pretty sure the Master Ventures Fund at some point will look into it on the Polkadot side, because it's a really good way to chuck your capital that you don't have you're not using right now into something else that will earn you money while you're waiting for the opportunity to actually spend your money, right? Because I can chuck stuff in, like if you chuck, let's say 10 grand into a protocol, it makes you, you know, 10% a year. It's only $1,000, but it doesn't matter. It's $1,000 you didn't have to do anything for. And if you're not planning to use it, then you might as well put it into a DeFi protocol until you're actually planning to use that money, because you earn something on it. Otherwise, you earn nothing. Otherwise, inflation kills you in your USDC because you lose money and value on your actual buying power.
Yeah, I got it. We got to wrap this up pretty quickly. I have another call coming up in a couple minutes. I know you got a call too, but I know that you're giving away some kind of car or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you?
I'll let you guys know about that. So there's a couple giveaways because we're doing this kind of Santa for Coach K Santa thing. And basically, all you guys have to do is follow. So I have this thing where I was like, you know what should I do for the community? Let the community work together to get my account to 100,000 followers. And I'm giving away Eternity. I won a smart car. I'm going to give that away. I don't need another car. I think someone else can use it. It's Christmas. Let's give that away. I have $10,000 I'm giving away, Hanukkah money, guilt, right? And then I also have NFTs that I'm going to be giving away. And as well, a trip to Thailand to my conference that I'm doing. It's very exclusive. We're talking to the likes of Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, Snoop Dogg, Steve Aoki. They're probably all going to come if we can get them all to sign. So I would think that most of them are going to want to come because it's more about fun than anything else. And then on top of that, today, Decimated and I have worked on airdrop. 4 winners of $5,000 per person. All you have to do is go on to Twitter, follow. Again, all of it's about just following, follow them, follow myself, get in, fill out the Google form, get some free stuff. Everyone likes to win. It's Christmas time. I'm giving back to you guys. And after a dump, probably the best time for someone to give you a giveaway because you're probably feeling a little bit sad. I want to make you guys happy. It's Christmas. Let's get the vibes back up and be positive. And so, yeah, guys, just all you have to do is just follow and you can have a chance to win. I want to give it away. So up to you guys.
Amazing. Thanks, man. Yeah. And make sure you guys have hit that like button. If you haven't, that helps us as well. Make sure that you're following me and Coach both on Twitter and subscribing to our channels. I'm also giving away stuff almost every single time I'm streaming or have posted video as well. We've got a lot of really cool interviews with a lot of the best gaming projects coming up. And yeah, thanks guys. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you guys soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.